Hasan and the Gazelle King. In the warm valleys between the hills of Palestine and Jordan, where the earth glows softly at dawn and olive trees stretch across the land in quiet lines, there lived a young man named Hasan. He spent most of his days wandering the open fields, gathering herbs for his mother and guiding his family's small flock across the gentle slopes. Hasan carried a quiet ease within him. He moved without hurry, spoke with care, and listened to the land the way one listens to an old friend. People often said that the earth itself softened beneath his footsteps. One morning, before the sun had fully risen, Hasan led his flock toward a meadow where the grass grew tall and sweet. Mist rested above the ground in a thin, glowing layer, and the breeze carried the fresh scent of wild thyme. As he walked, Hasan heard a faint rustle among the trees, a soft, light movement, almost like fabric brushing against stone. He paused, letting the silence settle. Moments passed in stillness. Then, from between two olive trees, stepped a gazelle. Its coat shimmered with the first light of morning. Its eyes were deep and steady, carrying a calm intelligence that made Hasan's breath ease without him noticing. The gazelle did not run. It simply watched him, its presence gentle and unthreatening. Hasan lowered his gaze slightly in respect. The meadow grew quiet, as though the land itself was listening. The gazelle took a few steps toward him. Its movements were light, almost floating. When it stopped before him, Hasan sensed something in the air. A softness, a warmth, a presence that felt older than the hills. A voice reached him. It wasn't heard with the ears, but with something deeper. Like a thought arriving with absolute clarity. "You walk with ease," the voice said, "and your heart does not trouble the earth." Hasan felt the words settle gently in him. The gazelle continued, "There is one who watches over the creatures of these valleys, the Gazelle King. He sends me to you." Hasan's breath slowed. He felt no fear, only a growing stillness, as if something he had always sensed in the world was finally speaking. The gazelle turned and began to walk, pausing just long enough for Hasan to follow. He stepped quietly behind it, moving through the tall grass and the soft morning light. They reached a clearing where sunlight spilled in wide, gentle shapes across the ground. At the center stood a gazelle, unlike any Hasan had ever seen. Larger, with a coat touched by gold, horns curved like delicate crescents, and eyes that held the depth of still water. The Gazelle King. He lowered his head in greeting. Hasan instinctively placed a hand over his heart. Again, a voice reached him, calm, warm, steady. "Hasan, son of this valley," the Gazelle King said, "you have walked among these lands with kindness. You have taken only what you need. You have never disturbed the creatures who share these fields with you." A breeze moved gently through the clearing, brushing the grass in slow waves. "For this," the king continued, "the valley gives something in return." A small gazelle approached, carrying a branch with pale leaves, fresh, soft, cool to the touch. A branch the valley knew as silverleaf. The king nodded toward it. "Take silverleaf," he said. "It grows only where peace is felt. Place it near your home. Where it rests, ease will follow. Where its shade falls, hearts will soften." Hasan accepted the branch with quiet gratitude. It felt alive in his hands, warm, but with a cool breath running through its veins, as though the wind itself lived within it. The Gazelle King dipped his head once more. The clearing brightened, just slightly, as if acknowledging the moment. Then the gazelles turned and drifted back into the trees, their steps silent, their presence fading like mist touched by sun. Hasan stood alone again in the clearing, the soft morning light widening around him. His flock grazed peacefully nearby, unbothered, calm, content. He carried the branch home, planting silverleaf beside the doorway. It grew quickly, not tall, but full, with leaves that shimmered in the breeze like small silver coins. And from that day onward, anyone who passed through Hassan's home felt a sense of ease settle over them, an unspoken comfort, a quiet softening, as if the air itself carried a blessing. People did not know why the house felt so peaceful, but the birds always rested near it, the wind always slowed as it passed, and the branches of the silverleaf tree above the doorway always rustled with a gentleness that echoed the calm of the Gazelle King. Hassan never spoke of what he saw. Some things were too quiet and too beautiful to be held by words. But every morning, as he passed the tree, he felt the valley watching over him, steady, peaceful, present. And somewhere in the distant hills, the Gazelle King moved through the sunlight, guarding the calm of the land with the same gentle strength that guided Hassan home. And as Hassan breathed out at the end of each day, it was as if the whole valley exhaled with him,